going on, Browns fans? Hope you're having a fantastic Sunday. Maybe you're catching this on the Monday. I don't know. Maybe you're getting a little Victory Monday sit going on. You got some situation with the gear. We got the Victory Monday. Your Browns beat the undefeated San Francisco 49ers 19-17. We're here with your post-game show. I'm Jacob. That's Nick. Below me is Casey. Tyler in the bottom corner there. Gentlemen, how the fuck I filled my quota are you feeling today?
Real quick, I'm getting the story out of the way now. Okay, so my wife didn't get it on video, unfortunately, because she was not in the room. But I told my buddy beforehand that the Browns were going to miss this, that Jake Moody was going to make this kick. So I jinxed it. You're welcome. But then on top of that, dude, as soon as he made that kick, I ripped my shirt off. I start jumping up and down. I ran out of my house and just started sprinting outside, yelling as loud as I possibly could. And I was out of breath for 15 minutes. But you know what? We're here. We're good to go. Let's talk some Browns in a fun victory today.
I'll tell you what. So my family gets together for one Browns game a year. We gather at my aunt's in Willowick. And last year we gathered for the Bengals game. And this year we gathered for the 49ers game. So I still don't believe. I picked up my cousin. I picked him up, and his head almost touched the ceiling because he's a giant human. And I still don't. I came into the game accepting the fact that we were going to get murdered. And I still don't know how to handle the fact. Like, I'm going to Indianapolis next week. I'm going. So yep. I expected to be 2-3. We are 3-2, baby.
I'm probably banned from a Panera in Johnson City, Tennessee, because that's where I was when the kick went wide right. And, I couldn't help myself. So sorry about that if I disturbed your customers, but not that sorry.
Guys, this game was this was a game the Browns don't win. This is a game I've watched a million times over that the Browns do not win. They go in here, they battle it all. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, get all those thumbs up, all those good things. Throw me a $5. I got to drink a tablespoon of Apollo pepper sauce live on YouTube Monday night. So
yes, you do.
We'll check that out. But
R.I.P.
Yeah, it's like everybody's like, why don't you do it if they lose? And I was like, because I don't want to be sad and have diarrhea at the same time. Like, why would you do like that? Sounds like a stupid idea. But so they're not supposed to win this game in any way, shape, or form. People are going to point to McCaffrey being out at a certain point, Debo being out at a certain point. There's some guys named Deshaun Watson, Nick Chubb, Jack Conklin, Joel Bitonio, but we don't want to talk about that. We just want to make excuses. We want to talk about how they barely got it. They squeaked through. Somebody told me the Browns didn't win, the Niners lost. So I just want to know, what's the Browns record? Is it 2-2 in apostrophe or oh no, it's 3-2. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you're right. All right. Okay. Just making sure we're all on the same page. This was the setting up to be the most Browns way to win it, to lose a game. Great teams find ways to win games like this. The Browns never win games like this. They won this game today as a complete and utter team effort. They got just enough from the offense. The defense was just sick nasty. Some big kicks from Dustin Hopkins, some big kicks from Corey Bajorquez. Just a total up and down, gutted out, ugly win. It's not the same old Browns. That's what I got to say. It's not the same old Browns, and I just want to remind you that, man, they're pretty stupid that they traded that 7th round pick for a kicker that lost a kicking competition.
It's funny because, like, as I was headed out to my aunt's today, I was like, well, all these other teams find ways to win the game, despite adversity, despite injuries, despite all these other things, and it really didn't feel like the Browns were going to find the way to win that game. And so I guess I apologize for not having that level of faith. And when we talked about the new era of Cleveland Browns, you know what? Today, they took a significant step forward towards being that new era of Cleveland Browns, because the old Browns get blown out 42-10, and that's it. You know, the way the 49ers marched down the field on the first drive, it felt like this was going to be a blowout. And so kudos to them. They found a way to battle back, and I'm still in shock. I'm in shock.
I think I gotta say it because I told you guys before the show, there's a lot of crap about Kevin Stefanski that is said, and I'm gonna be honest that some of it is deserved, but the amount of people that won't give him credit for today's game, yes, okay, did he make some calls that you're like, why? Dude, he's playing with an XFL quarterback in this game. An XFL quarterback. He is without the best running back in the league. He is without Deshaun Watson. He is without 2 Pro Bowl offensive linemen. Find a way to win this game. Okay, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't. But at the end of the day, he did enough to win. There were plenty of plays, and we saw it. PJ Walker was not great. He did enough to win, which is what I talked about on the pregame show this morning. Kevin Stefanski many times had guys open, and again, Walker did not execute all of it. He did enough. But Kevin Stefanski deserves credit. He had this team ready to play after the bye week. He won the game against the best team in the NFL. And for those saying Jim Schwartz gets the credit, you know what? He gets a ton of credit. He has to have these guys ready to play, given all the crap that they dealt with during this week, with all the injuries they were dealing with. Everyone doubted this team, and they went in on Sunday, and they took this game from the 49ers. They took it to San Francisco. They proved that Brock Purdy is not a top 10 level quarterback when he does not have his top playmakers around him. He cannot make plays himself, and he proved that. Kevin Stefanski deserves the credit for this win, and fans need to start giving it to him because you know what? Without Kevin Stefanski, I don't know if you're winning this game. I honestly, he called a great game plan for PJ Walker, easy completions, easy play calls. All of it was executed when it needed to be. So Kevin Stefanski, start respecting him. He's the Browns head coach, and that right there is the type of win that can completely turn this season around right there.
Before I get started, Jacob, what the hell are you eating?
You guys don't have celebratory dirt cake for a big win?
Oh,
I love it.
Oh, hold on. I like what Tyler said. Hold on a second. Victory Monday, bitches.
I love it.
Jacob said it, man.
I set all that stuff up. I was really excited.
Jacob said it earlier, though. We've watched this movie a million fucking times, man.
Yep.
We've seen it. Them battle back just to get the lead, just to give it all away and lose in heartbreaking fashion. And all you get your little moral victory that you covered the spread. Man, dude, I didn't. You felt it. You felt it when 49ers got the ball. This is the first time I've had the faith like, no, they're not going to go down the field, man. Jim Schwartz ain't having that. And then you seen the DBs kind of play different leverage, and 49ers took advantage of it and got within what should have been a makeable kick.
mm-hmm.
But this shit didn't go through, baby. That didn't happen, man. That ending, that was M. Night Shyamalan right there. That shit was a twist. I didn't see it coming. It goes wide right. I erupted. You know what I mean? Like there's no way to put it, man. We've seen that movie too many times. It doesn't go like that. Well, something's different now. Now we get a break, and for anyone out there with that call on Gibson, man, they would have to call another 6,782 plays our way before I'm gonna feel bad about getting a fucking call like that. We needed that everything that had happened, it played out the way that it did. The Browns fought, man. That was gritty. You're not supposed to win that game. Vegas has you 10-point dogs. You know what I mean? To battle the whole game like that, keep it close.
Mm-hmm.
And Nick touched on from the beginning, man, the way the 49ers went down the field on all those penalties, the way that it happened, it felt like the defense could have packed it in. They battled. They got back in the pocket. They did what they did. They dictated. They bottled that vaunted 49ers offense up and just kept it in a little box, man. It was beautiful, beautiful work from Schwartz, beautiful work from Stefanski, Bubba Ventrone, the whole thing, man. Chef's kiss. This, for me, this crosses out the Pittsburgh game. The one that you should have won that you gave away, you just won that back. You just earned that back to get on the plus side of the ledger. Now look at what the schedule has coming up, man. Go on a run. It's right here, right now, man. Beautiful.
Hey, I'll tell you what. Brock Purdy was 12 of 27 for 125 yards, 4.6 yards an attempt, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, a 55.3 rating. Good Lord.
You want me to tell you some fun numbers?
Yes.
You want some fun numbers?
I love fun
You
numbers.
want some fun numbers? Oh, he wants some fun numbers. The 49ers had won 15 straight regular season games till today. The 49ers have scored 30 points in every regular season game since they played on Thursday Night Football in December of 2022 until today. The Browns, through 5 games defensively, have given up 1,002 yards total combined through 5 games. That is the fewest of any team through 5 games in the last 50 years, and it's the 3rd fewest ever. So we are talking about a historically good defense. Brock Purdy got it. I said it on the pregame show, put him under pressure. I don't know when Brock Purdy wasn't under pressure today. I said, listen, that right side of that line can be a little susceptible to some pressure. Ogbo should get in there. Za'Darius should get on it. Dalvin Tomlinson was a menace today. Dalvin Tomlinson was in the backfield play after play after play. And everybody told me, he's just a run stuffer. He's not a 3-down defensive tackle. You guys spent too much money. Bite my butt. Like we're sitting here. It's like he's game after game. You know what? Put some damn respect on Martin Emerson's name. How about we put some respect on Martin Emerson's? While we're putting some respect on people's name, let's put some respect on Alex Wright's name. Yeah, everybody told me how shitty that player was. He was garbage. You can't do dick. Well, let me tell you about how Alex Wright has been playing. You're not getting to the outside in the run game when Alex Wright is on that side. It's not happening. It is not happening. You better run between the tackles if you have any hopes of getting anything. Alex Wright is a very solid situational role player right now who's only going to continue to grow and become a better player as he gets more time, being developed by one of the better defensive coordinators in football, one of the better defensive line focused coordinators in football, Jim Schwartz. Jimmy was smiling ear to ear. They asked Ogbo Okoronkwo, Cammy Justice did. You can see it on her Twitter. They asked him, how Jim was doing. How was Coach Schwartz? She said, what, you don't see him running around celebrating too? Because he's feeling it. He's having fun. He's having fun again today. And Kyle Shanahan continues to have only scored 20 points on old Jim Schwartz once in 10 games. Is it? Yeah. 1 in 9, 1 in, whatever it is, 9 or 10 games they've matched up. Jim Schwartz has only allowed 20 points to Kyle Shanahan one time. Yeah, I get it. McCaffrey left. McCaffrey wasn't doing dick before he left. Debo left, wasn't doing dick before he left. They had 2 touchdown drives. The first one, the Browns gave them 30 yards on penalties, and the second one, they only had to go 8 yards. Again, the Browns went out there and did what we said they couldn't, have self-inflicted wounds, and yet they still won. They went out there. They had over 100 yards in penalties. They turned the ball over twice. They did those messy, sloppy things you couldn't do and beat the 49ers. They did them, and they beat them anyway. This is not the same old Browns. Get healthy next week. You are 3-2. You've got the Colts, you've got the Seahawks, and you've got the Cardinals. There is no reason you don't go on a run. Kevin Stefanski in the postgame was talking about stacking wins. I can breathe now. I wanted to get that out.
Jacob.
Victory Monday.
Jacob, there's one important stat that you did forget, and it's very important. Brock Purdy was 10-0 as a starting quarterback in the NFL in games that he has started and finished.
Oh, yeah.
Not anymore, son.
Yeah,
he is 10-1. And you know what? I'm going to call out. He's not going to hear this video. Emmanuel Acho, okay? I'm calling you out, saying the Niners went the majority of the game without Christian McCaffrey, Debo Samuel, Dre Greenlaw the whole game. Yet we're still a 41-yard field goal away from winning on the road. I'm not worried at all. No credit for the Browns. You know what the Browns didn't have? Deshaun Watson, Nick Chubb, Joel Bitonio, Jack Conklin. Start giving the Browns credit where it is deserved. The national media needs to wake up. This is not the same old Cleveland Browns. You said it, Casey. This schedule is setting up for you. Stack wins. You're going to Indianapolis next week, okay? I'm expecting the Colts to give us their A game. They went into Jacksonville and got destroyed, okay? The Colts are going to give us their A game next week. But they got a backup quarterback in Gardner Minshew who's going to be playing in this football game. You're coming off the biggest win, arguably one of the biggest wins in this franchise history. You now have the opportunity to go on a run. You then go to Seattle after that. Hard place to play. But you know what? They lost today to Cincinnati. You can go beat Seattle. Let's start. And then you got Arizona coming at home. Let's go, boys. Let's start stacking these wins. And you know what?
Right.
The AFC North, it's still all there for you. It's all there. Just keep winning. Keep doing your thing. Get 4 healthy. Get Bitonio healthy. And, boys, let's roll. Let's go.
Hey, I wanted to say something. You see this? You see this worm here? This worm is all the excuse makers and all the bullshit about the Browns didn't win, the Niners. You know what? Suck my butt. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Hey, Nick.
So,
Hey, Nick. Why don't you, real quick? I know Tyler wants to talk about something serious, but Nick, Nick, why don't you tell everybody about the funniest tweet I've ever seen?
I'll tell you what. I was having a grand old time today. And if you haven't been on the old Bird app, well, I pulled
Hold
up.
on, I'll find it. Hold
today.
on.
I didn't know. I did not know. That was straight off the cuff because I was in shock. Honestly, like I gather with there was like 15 of us today. And I did not have high hopes. I'll admit that I did not have high hopes. And the fact that we won after everything everyone said, and you know, against a quarterback that like Tyler said, has not won and not lost in the regular season, against the 49ers, against Kyle Shanahan and his fucking PowerPoint presentation shit to get out of Cleveland and all of that stuff. And you talk about Monday night when the Browns went there. Like 4 years ago, and they obliterated Cleveland. And Nick Bosa is taunting Baker Mayfield, and they embarrass us. That game was over after the first quarter. You knew San Francisco wanted to come in and just stomp us, and they go right down the field on the first drive, and they thought they're gonna have a nicely relaxing day. They're gonna win 35-7, and it's going to be fine. But what do? You underestimate. Vegas underestimated Cleveland. San Francisco 49ers underestimated Cleveland. Everybody underestimated Cleveland. You know what? I've seen so many times all these other teams win with these backup quarterbacks. I'll never forget Kyle Allen, who was teaching gym class some time around the fact that he won with Denver and the Broncos over Baker Mayfield and the Browns, and finally it's the Browns, you know, because you said to yourselves, it's like the Browns should be 3-1. We saw it, we knew it could be there, and putting yourself in a hole is so bad. And it's like the Browns just didn't let it happen. The Browns did not let the best team in football come into their house and disrespect them. They had a little scrum beforehand, and you know what? And I was like, well, why are we fighting to begin the game? Why are we fighting when we know that this game's going to be kind of lopsided? And you know what? I should have known then. When the Browns came out and told Trent Williams to stick it where the sun doesn't shine, that they were going to win, and they did. They won. I don't know. I don't know what this is. I don't know. Is this joy? Is this joy that I'm feeling?
Dude, I've just had it, honestly, with people. Like, we've been doubted for so long. And, you know, you still have to go out and you got to go out and you have to finish this season. You got to make the playoffs and potentially win the AFC. Like, I get all that.
Yeah, you do.
Wait, Tyler, I thought this.
It's over. You didn't hear?
Oh,
season
guys, I'm
was
sorry.
over because
My
they're
bad.
2
The season was
compared.
over.
The season's
Oh.
over.
Did you miss that memo?
Crap.
You missed that memo.
Crap, man. Season. Oh.
Shit.
Kyle Shanahan was coming
No
to
shit. I guess we should wrap this thing up.
Yeah, I mean,
What?
The 49ers are unbeatable. Didn't you hear? They've never lost.
Did you see?
before.
Did you see? I made a simple tweet 2 days ago, which would have been what, like Friday? It was Friday or Thursday. I think it was Thursday night. I made a tweet, and all I said was, excuse me, I don't think that the 49ers are unbeatable. I didn't say the Browns
That's
were.
it.
I didn't see anything. I said I just don't think they're unbeatable because that people went after me. I got 77 comments on that, and it was like insane. People came after me, so I started dunking on them. You want to see? Let me show you something. I want to show you this because this is fun. Because I had so much fun doing this. I'll get it up on my screen. Hold on. I had so much fun doing this. Like it was like everybody's like, yeah, the season's over. It's over and all this. And so here's everything else. There's Nick's greatest tweet of all time where he just laughs for 29 seconds. That was fun. But then I started doing this. Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready? Ready.
Love it, man. I love it.
And so I did that to like 10 people. And in a lot of them, the Browns fans were all just like, a lot of the Browns fans were like, touche, I'm glad that you proved me wrong, you know? And it's like, and somebody even apologized to me. It was wild.
That's kind. That's nice. That's nice.
I'll tell you what, at the beginning of the week, I tweeted that the Jets picked off Josh Allen 3 times and returned a punt for a touchdown to beat Josh Allen after Aaron Rodgers went down. And all I said was that it was possible. And people told me I was nuts. Nuts. If you want a little series of comedy, go through those comments because I quote tweeted it and show that the Browns won because people, and even today, it was just like that. Somebody was telling me like I took 49ers minus 16.5, like 49ers by 20, like all these other things. And the Browns won. The Browns won.
It comes down to one thing, though. People keep ignoring this one simple fact. The Browns will always have a path to victory with this defense. They could be overmatched in areas, but there is a path to victory, and you can ignore that. Should the 49ers win? Yeah, on paper, sure. But there was a path to victory, and the Browns threaded that needle. They even, like you said, there was more self-inflicted wounds than I thought they could have and still win and still pulled it off because it was a total team effort. You know, it's and shout out, man, Corey Bojorquez, dude. That's what I'm talking about, dog. Pin him. Pin him, man. With this defense, if you pin him, good luck. Good luck going the distance of the field on these guys. Like, it was beautiful. And the TV copy, when I was watching, they were highlighting a player, an amazing linebacker, Fred Warner. But the whole time, JOK was doing work. Like, let's put a spotlight on that man, dude. Like his ability to click and close, him come downhill, just he's going to be top 5, man. He's going to be in that top 5 of linebackers by the end of the season. He's probably already there now, but he's not going to get the recognition until they start stacking these dubs. But that dude is a missile, straight playmaker. He is an angle eraser for blockers. Shout out to him, man. I see you out there, JOK.
You know,
and give the defensive line credit. They keep him clean, and when kept clean, he's a menace.
Yeah. No, I mean he's been fantastic this year. We've really been waiting for that breakout, and it's funny now that you have really like solid defensive tackles. What do you know? Your linebackers can make plays. Who would have thought that? So shout out for Andrew Berry for finally fixing the defensive line. But at the same time, you talk about when you have a backup quarterback. And Jim Schwartz talked about it. You have to pick them up. You have to pick up the offense because you know it's not a knock on PJ Walker. You're without a lot of talent on offense. You have to pick them up. Not only did the defense pick them up, but how about Bubba Ventrone in that special teams unit today? Dustin Hopkins was fantastic in this game. Of course, he missed one kick. Whoop-de-doo. The guy has been fantastic all year. Corey Bojorquez was phenomenal. I mean, we haven't had a punter like him in a while that can just pin people deep. He was fantastic. But not only that, coverage teams. Ray McLeod is a really good returner, and they neutralized him today, which I think was huge because San Francisco gets momentum a lot of times off of big returns. They weren't getting those today. And the other thing is, I thought he didn't add a lot. I like Jalen Darden returning kicks. I really do, because he's a guy that I think he gets the ball in his hands. He can make a few guys miss, and he can make a play. Now, he's not going to return them for touchdowns all the time, but he's a guy that can add something different, and I think the Browns need that. I don't know what happens next week as far as with injuries and whatnot, but Jalen Darden's a guy I wouldn't mind having on the active roster moving forward because I like his ability in the return game, and I think you need that type of potential spark back there. But not only does the defense get a shout out, I think Bubba Ventrone deserves one as well because, it wasn't perfect by any means today. But good teams, when the offense struggles or their defense struggles, the other units pick them up. And today, they picked up the offense, and that's what good teams do.
Well,
did you see that QB1 tweeted "See you soon" after this game, like right before live?
Bro,
you didn't see that? If you go look on it, he tweeted a video of him pumping up the crowd after the game and said, "See you soon."
Yeah.
So I wanted to say one thing about Bubba Ventrone's unit. You had that almost near disaster right before halftime with the intentional grounding that was almost a fumble, and it was all that stuff. And then Corey Bojorquez punted it 69 yards and really set it up in a position to where it stayed. They put it in a position to where it stayed a 10-7 game going into halftime. I'll do an offense. I'll do an offensive player that needs some love. But this is a guy that has justifiably taken quite a bit of crap from some of us, myself very much included, but a guy that I was kind of high on going into the year. And this guy grinded today, and that was Jerome Ford. Jerome Ford had a really nice game, ends up with 84 yards rushing. He gets 5 carries for 54 yards on the final 2 drives that were both field goal drives to win the game. And I thought that he was running hard. He was mainly around like 3 yards a carry for most of the game until he had a really nice last couple of drives there in the fourth quarter. But I thought he ran hard. I thought he finally stopped dancing around so much and started running more north and south than east and west. And he was getting like 3 yards. And it was like, I'm okay with 3 because I understand what you're going up against. I understand all that. Kareem Hunt looked nice and physical and energized. And like he's coming. Kareem Hunt's on his way to proving me to look like a dumbass saying that he couldn't do really anything because he's running the ball hard. And Jerome Ford just battled and got some really critical yardage and critical downs. And even when Jed and Wyatt Teller turned a first down into an interception and a touchdown for the other team and erased an interception when David Njoku had 2 beautifully executed tight end screens that got called back. They just continued to shoot themselves in the foot and they won the damn game. And it's just like top to bottom. Kevin Stefanski gave them Monday and Tuesday off, said, I'll see you on Wednesday. Like,
can I ask you real quick about that? Can I ask you real quick about that? How do you guys feel about that personally? Now, listen, I like it. Okay. I believe a team should get a break after. I do, truly. I think it's needed. I wouldn't have given them Tuesday off too. I really wouldn't have. I think at least being there. Watching some film, doing something.
Don't they have to have Tuesday off for the CBA?
Tuesday is their normal off day. But I'll say this: it also saves them from not having Deshaun answer any questions on Monday. If they want to get him extra rest, just don't have practice because then they can't say he didn't come out there. You know what I mean? So at least buys them till Wednesday, dodging that bullshit.
And I will say.
That's true. That's a good point.
And I will say Kevin did say get a lift in on and Kevin said get a lift in on Monday or Tuesday and I'll see you Wednesday. So he did tell them to do some work on one of those days. They weren't just not going to have an official practice until Wednesday.
Okay.
I'm fine with it at this point. It's like you win a game that you weren't supposed to. And we talked about that, right? We said, you lost the game that you weren't supposed to. Now you have to win a game you weren't supposed to.
They did it.
And so all of a sudden, like I felt very strongly that the Browns should be 3-1 entering the bye. And the fact that you're 3-2, like that's a great place to be considering the fact that your starting quarterback is injured. You lost Nick Chubb. You didn't have Joe Bitonio. All these guys that they lost. And just to see them overcome that is something we have not seen the Browns do. And I'm still honestly pretty shocked by it. Like it's a whole new feeling. The fact that they can, especially at home, it's nice to see them defend home. All those fans get to go there and do the winner's walk. Like I'm so happy for them. It's a wonderful thing when everybody counted Cleveland out. Everybody did.
Yeah.
And shout out to Jake Burns because I saw one of those winners.
Dude, he
graphic
got roasted,
the only-
man,
Jake was
yesterday.
the only one.
He-
Jake was the only one that picked Cleveland. The only one.
Yep.
Listen,
I say this, man. Beginning of the season, we all play the schedule game, right? We look ahead and we see what's going on. I think we could all agree to a man that was the most talented team they would face during the regular season was going to be that San Francisco roster.
Yeah.
What kind of confidence does that build knowing you handle business against the most talented team you will see? And you did it shorthanded. Yeah, they had injuries, but you didn't know that going into the game. They were fully healthy going into that game, and you knew you were going in shorthanded. Still handled business. Now the
Cody,
schedule opens up.
Cody Swack posted this photo of him and Jake Burns after the game.
I love it, man. I
Love
love,
to see
dude. Dude, I love it. I love it. Like, I'll say this too about Jerome Ford. Just
Jake, he's taking some victory laps.
I'll say this about
Good.
Jerome Ford, just because there was, I think it was the second quarter, first quarter. Man, this guy just kept running into his lineman, and I'm like, bro, like I can't do that. Like I can't continue to watch this. Like, so I will give Jerome Ford credit. He turned it around, and I needed to see it because it was driving me nuts. Absolutely driving me nuts. The fact this dude just kept running into his own offensive lineman. But I'm glad seeing Amari Cooper, man, continues to be that guy. Just continues to be worth the money the Browns are paying him, the trade that they used to acquire him. And you know what? He continues to just – every single time a play needs to be made, Amari Cooper is making a play. It's just – oh, man. I don't know if I'm going to sleep tonight very well. I might not be able to sleep. Whew.
Hey, Tyler, did you? Oh, you did. I forgot. I was going to be like, did you tell this story about you not wearing a shirt?
Oh, yeah,
But
dude.
I-
Very beginning.
That was the very beginning of the
after we
show,
won,
so-
man. I was
I think
lit. It was awesome.
Yeah.
you can
What
tell.
are you trying
Look
to
at all
find?
those- look at all those-
A bunch of the players have tweeted, and you can tell how much this victory means to the players. You know, Jerome Ford says, "Throw us into the cage with anybody, fight, scratch," like just the way that they won.
Did you?
And I remember, I was at the Miami game last year, and I was walking behind Jerome Ford's family, and I know that because I was surrounded by a pack of people in Ford jerseys as he was our punt returner, and they were so down after that game, and it's got to be so much more fun to see this now and just see the way that the Browns have, like, it
Have
is
you
honestly it's the antithesis of last year. It is. They found ways to lose last year, and they found ways to win against the best opponent that they'll face all year.
You guys want to hear a great stat?
Can I show you my favorite? Yes.
Okay. So, real quick, next week, if QB1 plays, Deshaun Watson has played in Lucas Oil Stadium 3 times in his career. He has thrown for 300 yards every time.
Why is it only my face?
Bro, what are you? Okay.
Why is it only my face? Who did this?
No, that was you.
I didn't do anything. Who did that?
I didn't click anything. Seriously, I haven't even had my finger on my computer.
All right. Anyway, I don't know how I did that. I wanted to show you this tweet because it was my favorite tweet. Look at this, Andrew Hawkins.
Bro,
as you can see, it was a
awesome.
response to Dante Whitner saying that the Browns defense was pretenders. Andrew Hopkins did some victory laps. There's some other people doing some victory laps. I don't know, man. We're bouncing off the wall because it just feels different. And we all said, like, as we went through these 2 weeks of just absolute, and like I contributed to it. I saw a lot of things that really frustrated me in the 49er or the Ravens game. And we were all pretty down on where this offense was going, why they didn't tailor an offense to DTR. Well, Kevin tailored his offense to PJ Walker today.
Yep.
And I understand he throws for 195 yards, 2 interceptions. Outside of 3 throws, because he almost threw a 3rd interception, outside of those 3 throws, I thought PJ Walker was really good today. I thought he went out there. He put you in positions to win, to succeed. He missed a few guys. He missed Elijah Morton might still be running if he had put that ball on him just a little bit, just a little tiny bit better. My guy finally comes wide open. I'm like, yeah, let's go. And they're like, no, dude. So we're just going to throw a bad ball at his feet. I would feel good if Deshaun didn't play next week thinking they go to 4-2. Like, I'm not saying I want that. I'm saying I would feel fine with PJ again going into the next game. He wasn't fantastic, but I really think in terms of what you need a backup quarterback to do in B, he was. They executed everything on defense, and here we are.
That's a question, though. So now do you keep 3 quarterbacks on the roster? He's your backup now, right? You can't send him back to the practice squad and risk him to waivers. Right, but you also can't put DTR on the practice squad. He'll get scooped up right away if they still believe in his upper bound limits as the long-term backup. So you're going to have to roster 3 quarterbacks now going forward.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that.
It pains me to say this. It does. I think Ronnie Hickman might be the odd man out. But I think you get him back on the practice squad. I do. But it would be a bummer. Obviously that's a Buckeye. I think in the preseason, he really earned a spot. I mean, we've all said that. He earned a spot. It would stink, but you know what? PJ Walker that's it. After today, he has to be the backup. And I think going into next week, this is my only thing. Because I do believe PJ Walker can win next Sunday. The thing is, though, I don't know if the first game Deshaun Watson comes back, I want to be at Seattle, personally. Yeah, that's just me, though. Like, because it's on the road. That is one of the toughest environments in the NFL to play at. I think if I want him coming back, I want it either against the Colts or I want him at home against the Cardinals. Yeah. But then here's the other thing that I would question. Why, if this is the case, why was he not put on IR?
Yep.
Yeah.
Which points to him
That's
playing
why I
next
think
week.
he's back next week.
Yeah.
Yep. Same.
Yeah.
Same.
That's
there were so many reports.
Yeah. There's
so many reports that make me think he's coming back next week. I mean,
for him to tweet "see you soon," right
after the game.
Yeah, right after the game, doesn't feel like he's going to make his return against Seattle.
Yep.
And also, a random stat I looked up. I want to know the last time the 49ers scored 17 or less. It was November 27th of last year. They scored, I believe, 13 again. So it has been a long time. Like, Kyle Shanahan's offense does not get held to 7. So how many games? Let's see. There were so many games between then. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Sorry. 6. And they were 5-0. So it's been 12 games since Kyle Shanahan's offense scored 17 or less. And the Browns broke that streak.
It's nuts, man. It's really nuts to think about, truly. Like, it just.
Oh, you want the whipped cream? Oh, sorry.
No, but
I forgot I wasn't muted.
Just an incredible Nick. That's an incredible stat, man. It's again, I think I'm gonna wake up tomorrow still in shock because everything was stacked against this team all week. Everything was stacked against the Browns. And they found a way. We've talked about it for a while. Good teams just have to find ways. It does, we talk about them a lot. We can't stand them. Pittsburgh, what do they do better than almost any team in the NFL? They find ways to win, regardless of how bad that offense is. They find ways to win. The Browns found a way to win today with a backup quarterback. So
it was very Steelers-esque.
It was. It absolutely was. And I really hope that I really do. I said it earlier. I hope Kevin Stefanski starts getting the credit he deserves because I just think it's wrong that I get it. People are upset with some of the play calls, but I'm telling you, man, he had plenty for PJ Walker to work with today. Things were open. He executed them when he needed to. There was a lot more plays that could have been made. I thought Kevin Stefanski overall did a great job today. I've criticized him when needed, but I also think he deserves to be praised when he deserves it because I don't think this fan base does that enough. I really don't. And I I'm hoping when I listen to a certain radio show tomorrow morning that he gets that credit that is deserved.
And
I really
I'll
do.
tell you what, the 49ers went to Pittsburgh and blew Pittsburgh's doors off.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
They did.
dude.
If you told me that Cleveland was the only team to beat San Francisco of the NFC, so the AFC, the only AFC North team to beat San Francisco, I would believe you. That's something that I think, something that's so important about today's win is Cincinnati won, Baltimore won, Pittsburgh's on a bye, but they last week won, right? To keep pace with all these guys. So now you've got Cincinnati's 3-2, Baltimore's 4-2, Pittsburgh is 3-2. I don't know their record.
Yes,
They're 3-2 and they're on a bye week right now.
Okay, so perfect. So you had to win this game to keep pace with the rest of the AFC North, and that's exactly what you did. It's so important. It was so important to get this win and to keep, because otherwise you're at the basement. You're in the basement. You're at 2-3. Everybody else is 3-2 or better, and you are looking up at all of them again. And that is the last place you want to be. And now all of a sudden you look and you're like, Chicago's on this schedule, Arizona's on this schedule, Denver's on this schedule. The Browns play Indianapolis next week with Gardner Minshew. All of a sudden you're like, hey, there's some wins that the Browns should have on this guy. If you can beat San Francisco with PJ Walker, man, why can't the Browns beat anybody else? Why?
6-2.
6-2.
I'm not even gonna make a prediction.
Calling a shot.
Let's just see what happens,
6-2.
man. See what happens. Let's roll and just.
I got two things. Two things. Are you ready? Thing one. Do you know who the guest of honor was this fine Sunday?
Phil
Dawson.
Your boy Phil Dawson. Okay.
Phil.
You know what I'm really upset about?
What?
That Dustin Hopkins does not have a Twitter, so I can tell him that I love him.
He has a fake Twitter.
Then.
No, I'm just saying he's got a fake Twitter.
Yeah, I know. That's a pretty funny.
I'll say this.
I know, it's pretty funny.
One last stat just to I hope I didn't lose it here. I really hope I didn't lose it. I think I still got it. I don't have it. Actually, I do have it. The Browns defense have given up the fewest amount of total yards so far to start a season. They've given up just over 1,000.
Yeah, I said that earlier.
You did, and I completely missed it because I was too busy celebrating. So
that's fair. That is a fair assessment. It's the fewest yards through 5 games in 50 years, and it's the third fewest yards through 5 games ever. You know what, everybody, we're getting towards the end, so I just want to say I'm Jacob. This is my victory hot chocolate.
Look at you.
Oh, okay. Hot chocolate time. I love it. I love it, man.
Say, with that, you know what? So Network 216 is really excited about all the shows that we're going to bring you moving forward. We are going to have victory shows from here to all week long. We've got the Yard Dogs, the Barking Browns, the Faithful Dogs, the Dog Chug. We got a lot of dogs.
Scarlet and Gray podcast, baby.
Scarlet and Gray.
And I'm gonna.
They're still
right
winning,
there, boys.
We got.
And I'm going to drink a bunch of hot sauce tomorrow. We're going to drink hot sauce tomorrow. And you know who the host of tomorrow's festivities are? Our good friend, Jack.
Our good friend, Jack. So, with that said, this has been a Cleveland Browns unexpected victory review show. I'm Nick. He's Jacob. Victory Monday shirt. Homage, by the way. You can get those on Homage. That's Casey. That's Tyler. Go Browns.
And this is my victory tummy.
Times. Come on.
And that was my victory tummy.